Love him or hate him, Mark Latham certainly speaks his mind. It's made the former politician plenty of enemies, but as we found out, also plenty of fans.
Seeing you. Absolutely.
And I'm proud of you for what you've achieved.
Thank you very much. Thanks for saying that.
G'day, mate.
Yeah, good. How are you? Hello.
Just want to have a chat with him. I wanted to be sure that he's the one.
Yeah.
I've seen him on TV.
What do you like about him?
A lot.
All right?
Yeah, all right.
You'd think he was on the campaign trail. The one-time alternate Labor Prime Minister
David, how you going?
G'day, Mark. Good to see you again.
has crossed the floor,
And it's wonderful having someone like Mark in the party.
joining the Liberal Democrats.
The Conservatives don't stand up. Self-appointed people who decide. Everyone mixes together.
Having been through more stations than the Indian Pacific, he's now set up his own.
Why can't put it another day?
Well, that's our day.
It's got to be a day you come in, a day you come in.
Mark Latham is back. Not that he really went away.
There's a lot of political correctness out there. I just couldn't get on the ABC these days. You know, my chances of getting on Q&A, I've got a better chance to fly to the moon.
Forget the moon. Seems Earth still needs him.
I love you, sir, and I am proud of you.
Going all right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, how you doing?
Good, I always watch you on the news.
Yeah.
On this hour's street walk, not one person had a bad word for him.
People grow up with values and morals, and when you talk about things that people should be instilled, then we're forgetting about that these days.
Yeah, we are.
A lot of people like what you say.
I get a lot of good feedback from people who say, what the hell's happening to our country? We're going through all these changes that nobody told us about. You know, a lot of this political correctness is dividing people, you know, men versus women, straights versus gays, Muslims versus the rest, Christians versus Muslims. I mean, there's a lot of division in Australia these days, and your average Aussie is thinking, well, we've never been like that. Why are we splitting up the country when we're better off if we come together?
His Western Sydney street walk
You know, it's like the League of Nations.
is uncovering, he says, a serious flaw in multiculturalism.
I'm very worried about the development of Iraqi and Assyrian enclaves where the people there, I went down the main street of Fairfield, just to the north of here, and 90% of the residents had no English.
And he took a camera out to prove his point.
I'm not speaking English.
Nothing at all? No English at all? Okay, thank you.
I do not speak English.
You don't speak English at all, really? Think of Cabramatta?
No English, no.
No English at all?
Think of Cabramatta.
Syrian.
Syrian, okay. What do you think of Syria? Lebanon. What do you think of Lebanon?
So if you can't talk to your fellow Australians, you can't speak the language of the country, we're not going to have multiculturalism. We're going to have people just in their own little ethnic area instead of mixing together and building a genuine community. James, how's it looking?
Good. We're just getting the clips ready. There's Joyce.
Mark Latham says in this politically correct world, most media outlets would never air his No English segment on his Facebook program, The Outsiders, where he is the boss and his audience numbers are fast approaching the ones he had on Sky, where he was recently sacked.
Alternative media's got an audience. People are hungry for information that doesn't come out of political correctness.
So what's happening? Are you going for PM or what?
No, I had a go at that. Didn't work out too well.
The Labor Party, you bloody beauty.
Started off well.
Well, I stand for the things that I've been doing all my life. Working hard, trying to climb that ladder of opportunity.
Becoming one of the youngest political leaders in Australian history.
My question is to the Minister for Transport.
But perhaps best remembered for that handshake.
Very well. Good to see you. You too.
A loss to John Howard.
Tonight is not our night.
And a lack of support from his peers.
If we continue the way we're going now, we're going to bleed to death.
The Labor Party's got to get on with it and front with a leader.
In the end, his health gave out.
The time has come to put my family and my health first.
Yeah, I think it happened for me too young, too early. I would have been better off raising a family, building a home, getting a bit more life experience under my belt, being a bit more mature. So I'm sure it would have happened better 15, 20 years later, but, you know, the things happen the way they unfold, don't they, you know? You've got to deal with the cards you're dealt.
Clipping a cameraman with a side mirror.
After probably one too many run-ins with the media,
Mark's just like throwing a big swing like that.
he decided if you can't beat them, join them. And that he did, big time. As a media commentator, it was perhaps his 60 Minutes coverage of the 2010 election that caused most upset.
It's not compulsory to fill out the ballot paper. you can put it straight into the ballot box, totally blank. That's what I'll be doing on Saturday.
I don't really think it does 60 Minutes or the network much of a favour, really, to have him posing as a journalist.
I ran into him yesterday in the press room. We asked him to come on 60 Minutes. He didn't say a word. He got up and sort of cowered away. It's like watching an elephant try to hide behind a bar stool.
No. His brashness continued on radio, this concerning domestic violence campaigner Rosie Batty.
There's a demonisation of men here, where if you listen to Rosie Batty, every man is a potential wife basher, every woman is potentially at risk.
And Sky Channel, where he was recently shown the door, having said how he sees it one too many times.
I talk about some of the left feminists, they're couch fainting feminists. You say boo at them and, oh, you know, they collapse on the couch, they fainted just because someone had a disagreement. Well, that's not my style of Australian debate.
This is Brian.
Hi, Brian, how you doing?
Oh, hang on.
In the Liberal Democrats...
G'day, Mark. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
He says he's found a party...
How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
...that bars political correctness.
Now, you know, we're dominated by the offenderati, the outrage industry, trying to close people down just for talking the normal Australian way.
Of course, this new love-in has got the former Labor leader banned from the ALP.
Being banned for life, does it hurt?
Well, it's a bit like when you break up with, you know, when you're young, you break up with a girlfriend and you say, I did the breakup, but then she rings up and says, we'll get back together for 5 minutes, and then you're banned for life. So it was a bit like that, you know.
Now no longer a member of a major political party.
I'm a lot freer now, able to talk about problems honestly and openly, and I think that's what your average Australian wants.
Who else here would call for the Quran to be rewritten?
The religious leaders need to say, well, hang on, we've got a problem here. It is a minority problem. They're causing a massive problem around the world. Let's update the holy book and make it modern for our times.
And for Aboriginals in remote settlements to be moved.
Close down the places that aren't viable, move people closer to where the jobs, the education, the opportunities are. If you're not doing that, and you can't do it in these remote hellholes, well, unfortunately, the problems will be there forever.
Thanks for the chat.
Okay.
That squeeze too tight.
Okay.